When we evaluate an expression, we want to find the value of the expression given a certain value of the variable. To do that, let's follow these 3 steps. Number 1, let's set up. So set up the problem by putting parentheses in place of wherever the variable is at. Number 2, plug in. So substitute or sub in the value of the variable. And then number 3, evaluate by following the order of operations. So here in example number 1, we have x squared minus 3x. That's our expression, and we are told that x equals 4. So step number 1, set up. Set up the problem. Every time I see a variable, I'm just going to write parentheses in place of the variable. And so here's an x. I'm going to put parentheses instead. That's squared minus 3 times x. I'm going to put parentheses in place of the variable. So that's step 1. I've set up the problem. Number 2, I plug in. I'm going to plug 4 in for x. So every time I see a set of parentheses, since that's where my variable was, I'm going to put 4 in the place of the variable. So 4 goes there, and a 4 goes there, since our variable x is equal to 4. Step 3, evaluate. So let's follow the order of operations. I'm going to first take care of my exponents, so I have 4 squared. Well, 4 squared means 4 is a factor twice, and 4 times 4 is 16. Okay, then I have subtraction. 3 times 4. Well, 3 times 4 is 12, and 16 minus 12 is 4. So 4 is the value of this expression given the value of x equal 4. Example number 2, we have 4y plus y squared. That's our expression, and we're told that y is equal to 2. So step number 1, set up. I'm going to set up 4y, so there's the variable. I'm going to put parentheses instead, plus y, parentheses in place of the variable, squared. That's step 1. I've set it up. Now plug in. Y is equal to 2, so I'm going to put 2 in the place of y, 2 in the place of y. I've plugged in. Now I evaluate by following order of operations. I have an exponent, so I'm going to do this first. Okay, so I have 4 times 2 plus, what's 2 squared? Well, 2 squared is 4. Okay, then I'm going to take care of multiplication. 4 times 2 is 8. I still need to add 4. I know that 8 plus 4 is 12. Circle my final answer. That's the value of this expression given that y is equal to 2. Example number 3, I have BC plus 3A, and I'm told that A is 2, B is 4, and C is 5. So step 1, set it up. I have BC here, which means B times C, right? B times C. So I'm going to have parentheses back to back. That means multiplication. B times C plus 3A, or 3 times A. Okay, now be sure you plug in the correct value for each variable. The first variable is b. b is equal to 4, so I'm going to put a 4 right there. C is equal to 5, so BC is b times c, or in this case 4 times 5, plus 3 times a. A is equal to 2, so I'm going to plug 2 in for a. Finally, evaluate by following order of operations. I have multiplication, right? 4 times 5 is 20, plus 3 times 2. I still need to do multiplication. 3 times 2 is 6, so I have 20 plus 6, which is equal to 26. 26 being the value of that expression given these values. Final example, number 4, I have a times b minus 1 divided by, or over, c divided by d. Step 1, set it up. Okay, I have a times, so I have like a little parenthesis for the variable and a big parenthesis for the actual parentheses in the expression. So a times b minus 1, close the parenthesis. That's the numerator, that's the stuff on top. On the bottom I have c divided by d. Okay, so I've done step 1, that's set it up. Step 2, plug in. This variable is a is equal to 3, so I'm going to put a 3 right there. B is equal to 4. This is B, so I'm going to plug 4 in there. This is C. C is equal to 6, and D is equal to 2. Okay, so I've plugged in. Finally, I evaluate. Okay, so in my numerator up top, I have 3 times whatever is in parentheses. In parentheses, I have 4 minus 1. And I know 4 minus 1 is 3. So that's my numerator, 3 times 3. In the denominator, I have 6 divided by 2, which I know is 3. Okay? If I continue to evaluate on the top, 3 times 3 is 9. I have 9 over 3, or 9 divided by 3, which I know is equal to 3.